The A's, after an off day, set to get back at it and try to finish this homestand on a high note. And it has been a tough homestand for the A's. They're 2-5 with 2 more games left to play. And it'll start tonight against the Kansas City Royals, who have an 18-14 record. The Royals have played well up until really the last weekend. They were swept by the Angels down in Anaheim.
How was your off day?
It was awesome.
Good.
You know what was nice about the off day is, you know how our lives kind of revolve around 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And people laugh when I say that, but a 1 o'clock game, well, you go to the ballpark at 10. A 7 o'clock game, you go to the ballpark at 4. None of those times mattered.
That's right.
And yours?
Great. Went to Arizona and spent all day with grandson Matthew.
Right.
And it was one of those, and dinner was over. Nicky, take it. He's yours. Wow.
Papa Ray was worn out.
Grandpa was worn out, boy. I got to tell you, talk about some energy. About 26 months old, but he's talking. It was a lot of fun. So a very enjoyable off day. And so back to baseball and get it going.
So we feel good, and we hope the A's do as well. Let's take a look at the Royals lineup. It's brought to you by McDonald's. Coco Crisp in center. David DeJesus in left. Martian at third. Jose Guillen is the cleanup hitter in right field. Billy Butler at first. Mike Jacobs the DH. Alberto Callaspo, the second baseman. He's 9th in the American League with a .340 batting average. John Buck the catcher, and Mike Aviles the shortstop. Aviles struggling this year, but he was very hard on the A's last year. So that's the McDonald's Kansas City Royals starting lineup. A's defensively, Holiday in left, Sweeney in center, Buck in right, Jack Hanahan at third, Orlando Cabrera and Adam Kennedy in the middle. Jason Giambi is at first, and Kurt Suzuki catches the youngster Trevor Cahill, trying to make it 2 wins in a row.
But it'd be great for him to get a win, get the A's back on a winning track. It's been a tough homestand for them against a couple of very good clubs, the Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays. ERA at .382, and that's, of course, sub-4 for the A's as a team. 7th start for Trevor Cahill, and, of course, no walks in his last start after 18 in his first 5. So good to see that happen again against a ball club, the Rangers. And when you can perform and pitch well as he did against that type of a ball club, that says a lot about a young pitcher, just 21 years. And so he takes on a club, and we talked about the lack of offense really on both sides. So we'll see how this series, but for the Royals, it's been about pitching. And the A's hope to continue with young Trevor Cahill tonight.
Coco Crisp steps in, and the Royals, like the A's, also had an off day yesterday. So visiting team gets an off day in the Bay Area. I'm sure they're okay with that.
Another golf?
Yeah. First pitch of the ball game from Trevor Cahill is in for a strike. 61 degrees is your game time temperature. A 7:08 start here in the Bay Area. So the Royals 18-14 on the year. They are tied with the Tigers for first place in the AL Central. The Tigers actually lead by percentage points.
Trey Hillman, their second-year manager, has managed a lot of years in Japan. Last year improved the club by 6 wins, which was an improvement over 2007. This year, at 4 games over 500. So what an excellent staff he has. Former great hitter with the Royals and member of the Athletics. Kevin Sykes is the hitting coach. Bob McClure, the pitching coach. John Gibbons, who managed the Blue Jays the last several years, is his bench coach.
The Royals are 7-8 on the road this year, 11-6 at home. You saw that little note on the bottom when we showed the manager Hillman, 18-8 in September last year. And you just wonder if maybe that didn't give this team a little bit of confidence going into the offseason. That 18-8 record was the best in baseball. Line drive, center field, that's a base hit for Coco Crisp. But with a young team, maybe they felt good going into the offseason, and who knows? But they are off to a very nice start, even though they have lost 3 in a row.
2-2 pitch from Trevor Cahill. Look at the location, up in the zone, and no sinking action except almost right into Trevor Cahill. So he needs to get the ball down to get a ground ball instead of a line drive, and that's the result of a pitch being up in the zone, and maybe even a ball. Again, the velocity comes down with the pitch up, certain pitchers, and that one did not have the good velocity.
David DeJesus steps in. So good speed at the top of the order for the Royals with Crisp and now DeJesus. And the man at first, Crisp, is their best base stealer. He is 8 for 10. This one's popped up, middle of the diamond. Adam Kennedy is the one who makes the catch for the first down.
We like the communication, and you can hear Adam Kennedy even without a microphone.
Now in the third position, third baseman, number 24, Mark
Kennedy
Tien.
taking charge. And Mark Tien will step in. Tien playing third base. Spot usually reserved for Alex Gordon. A very good young player for the Royals, but Alex Gordon is on the disabled list, and he will be for a while yet. So Tien, who's become adapted, playing all different positions, and he's back to what is his original spot, third base, and doing a real nice job. Second, third, right this season. One and one now to Mark Tien.
Yeah, for Mark Tien, it's amazing the success he has had, especially offensively, changing so many different positions. The outfield, the infield, but maintain a very steady bat. And that's a credit to him to be able to separate the offense and the defense. Bobby Crosby would attest to how difficult it is to be at one position basically his whole baseball life, than having to change spring training and learn 3 other infield positions.
Well, Tien was the third baseman, and then Alex Gordon arrived in the big league, so he moved up to the outfield. In this past offseason, they added Coco Crisp, which kind of moved people around a little bit, and Tien was really out of an outfield spot. Crisp takes off. He got a good jump, and he's going to steal it easily. Crisp was jumping around over there, and he finally took off. So that is stolen base number 9 on the year for Coco Crisp. There you see him. He got a huge jump.
Well, he took that little stutter step like guys will do on a delayed steal, but that was just the little stutter step to watch Trevor Cahill. I mean, he made a couple of throws to first base. It stopped by Cabrera to keep the ball from going in the outfield. No chance at all to throw at Crisp. He was one of about 4 guys who stolen base threats for the Royals.
The Royals are 11th in the American League in total runs scored, 10th in home runs. So the offense has been a little bit sluggish early on. Hanahan charges on the run, and Jack Hanahan makes that play right there as well as anybody. And that's the second out. Crisp goes to third. Almost like a quarterback rolling out, doesn't he?
Absolutely, and the great thing about it, he used his glove. A lot of times the guys will use a bare hand, but you're taking a chance, making sure, first of all, you catch the ball with the bare hand, but also to get a good enough grip to make the throw. So catching the ball with the glove, transferring the ball from the glove into the hand, perfectly done by Jack Hanahan.
So Cahill now faces Jose Guillen. Big curveball drops low.
Not a bad first pitch. Guillen has always been very aggressive, does not walk a lot, very aggressive swing of the bat. And you talk about somebody that loves to play and will play hurt. I understand we're going to have a guest on tonight who knows how to play hurt.
Dallas Braden. Dallas Braden is going to put on the headset downstairs, and he's going to join us in the 4th inning. So we're looking forward to talking to Dallas. What he did on Sunday,
that's old school if there ever was.
As good as you're going to get as far as being a gamer. So we'll talk to Dallas about that. What a play by Kurt Suzuki, saved a run.
Boy, he caught it with the palm up. Look at the way he moves. He was inside and then turned his catcher's mitt and actually caught the ball in the bounce. It definitely had his body to move in front of it had he not caught it. Well, he's done that so many times, even on his homestand. I can each series now he has blocked a couple. Keep a runner from scoring from third.
Jose Guillen with the 4-pitch walk. Does not walk a lot, especially when there's an RBI out there for him, but did not get a pitch to hit there. So first and third, 2 outs for Billy Butler.
Guillen, formerly with the Athletics, Rusty Kuntz, Martin.
It's different eras, right?
Yeah, it's amazing the number of guys who are part of the A's organization.
Billy Butler, a couple of home runs. Batting average at .284. Big, strong right-handed hitter. Last couple years, when the Royals talked about Billy Butler, they said, well, I think he's just going to be a DH. But he said, I'm going to keep working. He's actually, from what we understand, has turned himself into a decent first baseman, and he is now playing first base. He could hit. It's a better to him. No player ever wants to be pigeonholed into just a DH role, especially a young player.
Also, as time goes, if you hear things about the National League and all he does is DH, not going to have an option to go to that league.
Just a bit high, and now 3-0. So 7 consecutive balls thrown by Trevor Cahill.
The danger part is the pitches are up. Whereas he's trying to compensate for a couple of balls in the dirt blocked by Suzuki.
And that one's high. Not close. Bases loaded for the left-handed hitting Mike Jacobs. And he's a dangerous hitter.
Well, it says it all. No walks in his last start. 18 in his first 5, and 2 on 8 pitches in this inning.
Well, the only run that Cahill gave up in his last start when he got his first major league win was a Chris Davis home run.
Batting in the 6th position, designated hitter, number 17, Mike Jacobs.
So here's Mike Jacobs. Crisp at third, Guillen at second, Butler at first. And Jacobs, Royals acquired in the offseason from the Florida Marlins. And they figured he would be their first baseman, but he struggles defensively as well, and it ends up Butler first baseman, and Jacobs is now the DH. Five home runs and 19 RBIs for Jacobs. Good pitch inside corner. A little tail on it. 0-2.
Time you get a hitter to lift his arms and see that movement. Jacobs with the pitch inside corner as he backed up and lifted his arms. That's a great pitch. First of all, to get the hitter to commit. There's no way he can swing the bat. It's a perfect pitch with 2 strikes, but to get a hit 0-2, it's even better.
That pitch stays high. So 1-2 the count. Just 4 hits with the bases loaded this year for the Kansas City Royals.
Knuckle curve set up by Trevor Cahill.
Count stays 1-2. So a 23-pitch first inning for Cahill. High pop-up, left side. Cabrera calls everybody off. He's got it. Side retired. The Royals leave him loaded in the top of the first and do not score.
And at third base, number 12, Diego.
Trevor Cahill works out of a bases-loaded jam. Royals do not score, so the A's come to bat here in the bottom of the first. Their lineup is brought to you by McDonald's. Cabrera at short, Suzuki the catcher, Giambi at first, Holiday in left. And then it's Cus to the eighth, Sweeney in center, Kennedy at second, Buck in right, Hanahan at third. So 5 consecutive left-handed hitters from spots 5 through 9. So Cabrera steps in, bottom of the first inning. Cabrera, 223 average. And he swings at the first pitch, grounds it to short. Mike Aviles has it, flips it across, 1 out. Take a look at the Royals' defense tonight. Pretty good outfield. DeJesus, Christ, and Guillen. Infield, Tehan, Aviles, Castro, Butler. Big John Buck does the catching, and it's Luke Hochevar. And the Royals think this guy has a very bright future.
The numbers last year, 6 and 12, but they would say that he's a Zach Greinke of Omaha, their AAA club. He had a 5-0 record before being called up on Sunday to make the start tonight. 5-0 with a 0.90 home run average. So he didn't make it, or that guy did. Zach Greinke made it out of spring training. Hochevar did not. But Zach Greinke, what a start for that young man.
He is now the great Greinke, as they say. But you said it, Ray. Hochevar had a chance to make the rotation of spring training and actually pitched pretty well, but Kansas City said, you know what? Go down to AAA Omaha. Just tighten it up a little bit, and he did. I mean, he was terrific down there. In fact, the last 3 starts he made, 21 consecutive scoreless innings. So they think, the Royals, or they hope that he has seen the last of the minor leagues. Luke Hochevar. Line drive, right field. Guillen coming in, and he cannot make the play. It's a base hit for Kurt Suzuki. Guillen reached down, and it rattled around and came out of his glove. I don't know how much of it.
Well, he charged it without leaving his feet. He looked like he had caught the ball. Outside corner, pretty good pitch by Hochevar, but Suzuki, that's a heck of a way to start a game, especially to be robbed. But Guillen there, actually it short hopped him all the way. Never did get in his glove.
Nope.
But initially, looking at it as the play was developing, that he had caught it and then dropped it, but short hopped it all the way, which that in itself very lucky that got a glove on it. Otherwise, it's a triple. But with the speed of Suzuki, might have been a home run.
Keep on running, baby. So Jason Giambi steps in. Giambi sitting on 399 career home runs. He's tonight. He gets to 400.
Well, he's got it cleaned up. He's just got the mustache goatee and shaved the rest of his beard. Because I would think every time Jason wakes up and sees that facial hair and says, well, that's the Oakland A's and not the Yankees.
I don't have to shave today if I don't want to.
Well, speaking of the Yankees, head-to-head against the Toronto Blue Jays, Doc Halladay, another masterpiece.
Guess how long he pitched in that game?
Oh, probably 9 innings.
Oh, yeah. Complete game for Roy Halladay. 0-1 to Giambi. That's a final of 5-1. The Blue Jays over the Yankees. And Roy Halladay, the winner, and he is now 7-1. No walks, 5 strikeouts, 103 pitches.
In the bullpen, sat in the dugout.
How about this, Ray? In Toronto tonight, 43,737 in attendance.
That's great.
Yankees in town. Good. Doc pitching. So that's good to see. Blue Jays, best record in the American League. They're now 23-12. So they're starting to become a story.
They have not played teams in the Eastern Division, so they're starting a stretch now, which gets him off of the right foot.
Giambi, line drive, left center field. That's going to hit the gap, and it's going to go to the wall. Here comes Suzuki. Hits the bag at third. Gallegos waving him in. Throw to the plate is not in time. Suzuki's in there. The A's lead 1-0.
Well, what a great shot by Jason Giambi. Not a home run, but a great left center field shot on a pitch that Hochevar left up to him. Great swing, head down, and run Kurt Suzuki. That off day must have got some heavy legs, because normally that would have been a no-doubter, but John Buck, as big as he is, trying to block him off the plate. Suzuki being sent by Mike Gallego, and boy, a little hesitation there. Turn it on, because big John Buck, see him put the leg out.
He is big.
He is big, stuck the leg out, trying to knock Suzuki off the plate. Fortunately, Kurt got the hand in. Great relay coming in from the outfield on the line, and Buck doing what you try to do as a catcher, put the big leg in front of the plate, try to knock the runner off the plate, keep him from touching, and at the same time catch the ball and make the tag.
Halladay drives one to center. Got a fastball up in the strike zone. Out is recorded, but Giambi's going to tag up and go to third.
Batting in the fifth position.
Well, a great overhead. Look at Buck. He's here with the plate back here, and the slide through, so when Buck went up for the ball, kind of took some of the weight instead of being able to plant the left leg, because had the ball been down where it didn't have to reach up, he'd have kept all the weight down, might have knocked Suzuki off the plate and been able to tag it.
Now you could just see his left leg almost come off the ground just a little bit.
Yeah. There's the case, and we have seen already in this young season throws from the outfield, even though the ball was in the air, it was up high. If he gets a good one hop where it's caught about waist high, pretty good chance it'd been out the plate. So good break for the A's. Good speed by Kurt Suzuki to be able to score from first. You know, in defense of Mike Gallego, his first year coaching third base for the Athletics. It's tough when your club's not scoring runs. There's a situation, ball hit to the gap, Suzuki has good enough speed. You got to take a chance. You're not going to hold the guy up, even though you have your fourth and fifth place hitters coming up, because the A's just not scoring a lot of runs, and that's when you have to be aggressive, and that's what you try to see in a third base coach. You never take the aggressiveness away, and I think Mike's done an exceptional job considering the lack of offense for the Athletics so far.
Cust 8 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Overall, 284. Good breaking pitch, and Cuss takes strike 3. Jason Giambi with an RBI double. So the A's have a 1-0 lead after 1. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek's Splash of Cash. It's giving away $12,000 cash daily. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. Cache Creek, just keep giving away money, don't they?
I like it.
Makes you want to get up there, Cache Creek. 1-0 the A's. Jason Giambi knocks in a run with a double. Alberto Callaspo, John Buck, Mike Aviles. Bottom 3 in the Royals order. In that series in Anaheim where the Royals were swept, they scored just 4 runs. They lost 4-1, 1-0, and 4-3. The Angels are hosting the Red Sox tonight. Masterson and Weaver, the pitching matchup there, and the Angels have scored a run in the first inning. Angels have won 4 in a row, and they're now a couple of games over 500.
They can have all the engines in the world. They're still going to be very competitive.
Yep. Shallow right center. Buck racing over, and he's going to track it down on the run. Nice play. Travis Buck, 1 out.
Well, they like to have the speed in the outfield. The A's have that. Right field with Travis Buck there. The ball looked like it's headed, dropped in front in the right center. Good break by Travis Buck, a healthy Travis Buck, and that's been the key for him this year.
Big swing by John Buck.
Got a couple of Bucks hitting in the 8th spot.
Yeah, that's
both
right.
teams. Travis and John.
Well, we mentioned showing those plays at the plate with Suzuki and Buck. Buck is 6'3", 235 pounds. Right field, slice toward the line, and Travis Buck! Nice play, 2 outs. So Travis Buck getting his sprints in here in the second inning, and he's covered pretty much the entire right field area with 2 nice plays.
Well, we've seen John Buck go to the opposite field with the long ball. This one slicing down in the corner, but once again, great jump by Travis Buck, taking extra bases away from John Buck. But in reality, that was too good of a pitch, 0-2, for Buck to hit the ball as well as he did, the John Buck portion of the field. There's a good pitch, a good sinker down, as he started with John Buck the same way. And left a slider up.
Mike Aviles, the shortstop. A's fans will look at Mike Aviles' average and see 202 and say, that's impossible. Last year, against the A's, Aviles went 13 for 25. A 520 batting average. It was last year. That was last year, and you know how we feel about last year. It doesn't matter. We were just having some fun on the pregame show. Inside, and Aviles checks his swing. So it's a full count. Over the mound, Cabrera can't get it, and neither can Kennedy. A ground ball with eyes, as they like to say, and it found center field, so a 2-out hit for Aviles.
Number 2, KCA Chris.
Well, he must have remembered last year. Had the count full and had some sinking action, ground ball, but definitely the seeing eyes. You know, there have been some guys that will take a magic marker, black marker, and draw a picture of an eye on the end of the bat.
Now that's when they're going bad.
Yeah, they say, here's the eye, find a hole. See an eye, hit.
I told you the story last year. Long time ago, I had a college teammate who couldn't get a hit if his life depended on it, so he taped 2 aspirin to his bat. I don't remember if it worked or not, but I thought it was a great idea. Taped him right up by the handle. What the heck are you doing? That's a base hit for Coco Crisp, so he is 2 for 2. And a 2-out rally.
And another pitch left out to the zone, so
Number 9.
Trevor Cahill trying to make the adjustment to get the ball down. It was belt high. There is movement on the pitch, but when it's at the belt high level, very hittable.
David DeJesus is the hitter. DeJesus a slow start. 224 coming in and 0 for 1 today, so they average down to 222. Was the everyday center fielder for the Royals. But then when they got Coco Crisp, DeJesus slid over to left. That one stays high, and Kurt Suzuki, well, he knows better than anybody. He's the catcher. That looks like Cahill not have the best location right now.
But a catcher tries to do, if one pitch is not working particularly well, is mix in some other pitches. Change up first pitch to DeJesus, got a strike. So it looks like Kurt's trying to bring in the off-speed pitches until he can find the plate with a good fastball, or the sinking fastball.
Just a bit inside, it's 3-1 with Mark Tien in the on-deck circle. So Cahill has to be careful here. And that's shot, and that's just foul. Brian O'Nora, the first base umpire.
Well, a 3-1 hitters count, and you could just see David DeJesus slipped the front leg, said, I'm going to get a fastball. He's struggling with control. I'm going to swing hard. He did. Fortunately for the A's, just a little bit too quick, and he pulled it foul. And I would say, well, he's not going to come back with the same pitch. Not a bad idea to go inside, bring it back over the inside corner of the plate with some good movement.
Runners taken off with the count 3-2 and 2 outs, and it's rolled foul. 46 pitches for Cahill, and we're in the second inning. He walked a couple in the first. Foul territory, left side, Hanahan racing down that way, and runs out of room. Could not quite get there.
The only park that you'd have to see a corner infielder run that hard to try to catch a ball. Most parks, probably all other parks, you just look at it and say it's foul, it's in the seats.
Well, Parks, he'd be about 15 rows up.
A lot of foul territory at the Coliseum.
Another payoff pitch to De Jesus. Popped up. So Cahill is going to work his way out of another jam, and the Royals have stranded 5 through the first 2 innings. Bottom of the second coming up, 1-0 A's. A's with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second inning. Luke Hochaver back to the mound. A 14-pitch first inning, and the A's got to run off. He'll face Sweeney, Kennedy, and Buck, 3 left-handed hitters. As I said, Cust, Sweeney, Kennedy, Buck, Hanahan, all in a row. 5 through 9, all lefties. Broken bat. The bat sails into the seats. Sweeney is thrown out, and we watched the bat go into the seats. It did not hit anybody. And thank goodness. Look at the sharp edge that went into the seats.
Boy, it went right over a gentleman sitting with a young child.
Yep, it did. It sailed right over that guy's head. I saw the same thing you did, Ray.
What was the play?
6-3. 6-3 in the put-out.
Oh, that's scary. And we have seen so many of the bats go into the field and concerned about players, but boy, those are the ones that are scary. Into the stands, especially Jimmy holding the end of the bat. The rest of the bat went into the stands.
Yeah, it's the only time, Ray, where I'm ever going to say I'm glad there was a few empty seats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it did. It landed right in an area where there's some empty seats, thank goodness. Adam Kennedy takes low, and it's 3-0. Kennedy, 2 for 7 since joining the A's. Got an RBI. And that pitch is outside, and it's a walk. So Kennedy's aboard.
Well, the A's will take on the Royals tomorrow at 7:05. That's the next double play Wednesday. What a great deal. Every Wednesday home game, you get Plaza Reserve. These are great seats and outfield tickets for just $2 and hot dogs for just $1. And they're courtesy of Bart. Order online at oaklandathletics.com or call 877-493-BALL. Now let's do the math. Family of 4, $2 tickets. That's $8. Good hot dog, kids?
Yeah.
Another buck. Okay. $12, right?
That's it.
$12. Get a hot dog. Watch a baseball game.
I can't stop at one dog, though. That's it's a major problem. Base hit to right. Kennedy read it well. He's going to race to third, and he will make it with a head-first slide. And I say read it well. Yeah. He never stopped, and he never hesitated. He just kept digging around second and headed right to third.
Well, remember, he played on the team that started keeping stats of first to third. And there's a great... just a great job with the runner being held, the ball to the right side, and Jose Guillen with a very, very strong arm. Yet Adam Kennedy, first to third, he knows the importance of getting there, and so many ways to score a run with just one out. And Travis Buck defensively has made a couple of excellent plays, top half the inning, and he moves Kennedy to third with a base hit to right field.
Here's Jack Hanahan. That pitch misses inside to Hanahan. I think we mentioned who's calling balls and strikes tonight. It's Jim Wolf. Honor at first. Field and Culbreth at second. Mike Malinsky is at third. Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire, is the brother of Randy Wolf, who's the pitcher with the Dodgers. And I know he's umped the bases in one of Randy Wolf's, his brother's starts. I don't know if he's ever umped home plate. I don't think he has.
I don't think they're allowed.
That makes sense.
I think that's, yeah. I stand corrected, but I just don't think that's something that you would see.
Hey, listen, if I was home plate umpire and my brother was pitching, it'd be a pitcher's zone.
Just a bit outside. Strike 3.
1-1 to Hanahan. Travis Buck, a decent lead at first. And that ball's driven. Left center and deep. Crisp going back near the wall. Off the wall. 1 run scores. They're going to hold Buck at third. So Jack Hanahan, a long double, and that did not miss going out by a whole lot. The A's now 2-0.
Well, I thought it had a chance. And once again, Hochevar left the ball up, and Jack Hanahan, in second pitch that he saw in the 2009 season, a home run to right field, almost got number 2. Ball high up on the wall. It just came back too hard, right to Coco Crisp, and he got the ball back in quickly enough. Travis Buck had to be held at third. You can see Travis Buck, he was able to read it perfectly, but that just shows how hard the ball was hit, how quickly it came back. And a little smile on the face of Jack Hanahan. As we've said, we've seen him defensively do an outstanding job. More than every time he gets a hit, that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Good to see it. So the hustle by Kennedy gets to third base. No need to worry about a sac fly as Kennedy scored easily. And now the A's have a similar situation, this time with a couple of runners in scoring position.
The infield in. First pitch to Cabrera. Swing and a miss.
That was a hanger.
Yeah.
Well, right at the letters. It's just a big swing. He just pulled off just enough that no contact. Does not have to hit a ball hard. In this situation, the infield playing in.
Curveball hit hard and past Martin at third. 1 run scores. Hanahan racing around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Cabrera, and the A's lead 4-0.
You know, some of the great hitters set up pitchers. Hochevar threw a curveball that Cabrera just missed. So he came right back with the same pitch, a little bit better curveball. Buckled the knees momentarily of Cabrera, but with the infield plan in, hard shot, might have been playable for Tien at third, had been playing back. He was not, and Cabrera, like he was the leader of the team meeting this afternoon, and comes through with a big 2-run single.
First pitch to Kurt Suzuki is in for a strike. Talked about it during A's pregame live. He's had a meeting, not a clubhouse meeting, though. They actually had position players down the left field line. And Cabrera, from what we saw, was doing most of the talking.
Very animated in his talking.
Now, if you can find a baseball player who will tell you what is said in a team meeting, I'll give you lots of money, because they don't tell you, and they shouldn't. But this is what was going on.
So you're right, a world championship ring, and the thing about Orlando Cabrera, he loves to play the game every day. He's out here to play, and he loves to win. I mean, when you've had the experience of winning, you do not like to go in the clubhouse too often and not be able to play the music. That's the key when you win. You hear the music.
Well, Cabrera, indeed, knows all about getting to the postseason. That's what he has done the last 5 seasons, and the first one's the big one. He won the World Series with the Red Sox in 2004.
Some great postseason experience. There's Giambi, a lot of it with the A's and the Yankees.
Off the end of the bat toward the Royals dugout by Suzuki. Count 0-2. So a 3 spot for the A's here in the second, and it started with a 1-out walk to Adam Kennedy. Broken bat, slowly hit toward third. Tehan has it, and Suzuki was able to beat the throw to first, but the out recorded at second, so Cabrera's off the bases. Fielder's choice for Kurt Suzuki.
First baseman, number 16.
Now the shattered bat, this one out towards third base. Tehan vacated his position, cutting in front of the shortstop, which not a bad idea. Momentum heading towards second base.
Here's Giambi. Hey, Ray, remember you talked about Bobby Crosby playing second base and how he could get out of the way? Watch Callaspo. That's the play you were talking about. Clear out of the way of the runner.
Yeah, there's 2 different ways to do it. You can catch the ball in the bag, step back, or go through the bag, which he did. But it's all timing. But that's an experience at second base.
And it's done to protect yourself,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, try to just get out of the way, because as long as the runner sliding in a second base can't tell where you are. If you're positioned at second like Bobby was with Ian Kinsler, he can come straight in and do some serious damage. But if he starts to slide in, you can go forwards, backwards, and avoid him, or jump to avoid him. But that's the lack of experience for Bobby Crosby, more for Callaspo, and that's the difference.
Hey, you got to learn how to turn the double play one way before you can move on to the next way.
That's right.
2-1 to Giambi. Suzuki takes off, pitches a ball, throw to second base, down in time. Kurt Suzuki flashing the speed tonight as he swipes the bag. Number 1 on the year for Suzuki.
Got a great jump as Hochevar with a high leg kick, and the throw, a one-hopper, which is not a bad throw. But the fact that Suzuki was 3/4 away to second base, just no chance for John Buck. He kept the ball low and is trying to keep Suzuki at second.
The 3-1 breaking pitch drops in, and it's 3-2. Drive, foul into the seats. Nice play. Did he make the catch clean? I think he did.
In regard to tonight, you got a chance to get a souvenir. The young man did, and great camera work there. Look at it, just right into the glove. A little lean to the left, and a good in seat. Oh, jumped over. Wow.
I think he was protecting it.
Absolutely.
Giambi with the walk, so that's the second walk in this inning. Hochevar.
That's smart hitting by Jason Giambi after Suzuki stole second. First base open, the count more Giambi's favor, and did not offer at a bad pitch from Hochevar, and turning it over to Matt Holliday.
Holliday flied out to center field in the first inning. Swing and a miss.
A 3-run home run by Matt Holliday and a slam by Jack Cust helped Trevor Cahill get 7-run support in his last start, his first major league win. His offense giving him support tonight. 4 runs so far in the first 2 innings.
Curveball in the first, right? Can only help a young pitcher. Oh, 0-2 to Holliday. Up the middle, base hit center field. Suzuki will score, and the A's lead 5-0. Matt Holliday on an 0-2 pitch. An RBI single.
Location is so key in pitching, and so far Hochevar pitched inside location. The ball is right down the middle, and a major league hitter. And we talked about Hochevar, 5-0 at Omaha with a 0.90 earned run average. But you center a baseball and make a mistake at the major league level. Hochevar knows, as he pitched here about a year ago and gave up quite a few runs, but major league hitters don't miss many mistakes.
Jack Cust, well, he could really bust this thing open. And he's have scored a 4 spot here in the second. Sidney Ponson just recently sent to the bullpen, and the reason he's there is because of Hochevar being called up. Ponson, a starter in the early going for the Royals. He may get some work tonight. Right center. Coco Crisp back near the wall. Gone.
I see someplace there was a space shuttle. I just simply saw liftoff.
That was smell coming down.
That was a liftoff by Jack Cust. Hanging breaking ball. Jack took the same pitch as last at bat for strike 3. A little hesitation on the front foot and upper body strength. Liftoff, number 5 for Jack Cuss. 17 driven in.
And a 7 spot for the A's here in the second. They lead 8-0.
I think he knew it.
Wow.
He's hit enough. He knows.
Shallow left center. And it's going to be Coco Crisp who dropped it. Throw to second base, and Sweeney's safe. It's going to be an error on the center fielder, Coco Crisp. So a disaster inning for the Royals.
There's been a communication problem. Of course, the ball kind of in no man's land. Shortstop going out, center fielder coming in. And unfortunately for Coco Crisp, ball hit him in the pocket of the glove. Run, Rhino. Run, run, run. You better run. Yeah, that's why you never assume. And boy, that's how close. He came to be thrown out at second. These are major league players, but major league players still make mistakes. They still drop a ball.
So the air keeps the inning rolling on. Adam Kennedy started it all with a 1-out walk. What a surprise that it all started with a walk. Left center. Long run for Coco Crisp, but he will get this one. He squeezes it, hangs on, side retired. A huge inning for the Athletics. They score 7 times. The final 3 coming off that man, Jack Cust. A lawnmower. Cust, home run number 5. 8-0 A's after 2. Well, it's the new hour-long program on Comcast Sportsnet. It's called Legends. And first up, it's the stolen base king, Ricky Henderson. Check it out tonight at 10:30, right after A's postgame live. So you got the ball game, then A's postgame live, and then Legends, the story of Ricky Henderson. So a good night on Comcast Sportsnet California, and a good scoreboard right now. 8-0, the A's lead. 8 runs and 7 hits. So Trevor Cahill now knows what it's like to get run support. He sat there and watched the A's score 7 times in the second inning.
And he's thinking, I don't want to walk anybody.
Ooh.
I want to throw strikes, let my defense do the work, try to get the sinker working, and realize that was his 51st pitch. 9 runs last start, 8 tonight. 6 total in his first 5. Great Dave Henderson would say it all averages out.
Yeah. First strikeout for Trevor Cahill as Mark Tehan swings and misses. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd.
Number 11, Jose.
Well, it was
Ian.
up, and Tehan swinging at a pitch. It's been hit hard tonight by several of his teammates, but no contact here.
Jose Guillen walked in the first inning. Takes a strike. And a wild swing, and it's 0-2. .189 career home runs for Jose Guillen. The Royals gave him a 3-year contract. It's the 2nd year of that 3-year deal. I always thought Jose Guillen was a pretty good player. RBI guy, got a good arm.
We talked about wanting to play every day. Came to the A's. First good postseason with a broken hand, and was upset that anybody thought that wasn't going to get to play.
He's had a few run-ins with teams that he has played for. Don't always know the whole story of what happened. He can hit as he singles to left field. One of his old teams, the Angels and the Red Sox, tied at 1 in the bottom of the 3rd down in Anaheim.
I don't think you can ever fault a player who gets upset when he doesn't play. You definitely don't want somebody to be happy to sit on the bench. Been some guys who came out and said, bench me or trade me. Usually it's play me or trade me. They said, no, bench me or trade me. A nice soft seat, give me 10 years in the big leagues. Don't overexpose me.
Never forget, I was a kid, and you may have been on the team with the Cleveland Indians.
I don't like the way you're saying that.
I was in the clubhouse and sitting there, and I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and just keeping my mouth shut. And I remember you guys had a player, and I'm not going to give you his name, but line drive. Cabrera has it. The throw to first is not in time. Almost a double play. So Orlando Cabrera snags the line drive off the bat of Billy Butler for the 2nd out.
Well, after Cabrera was knocked back a couple of steps, had to regroup to try to double off Guillen. It was smoked.
Whoa.
Realized Guillen was off a little bit at first base and now being attended by his trainer.
So anyway, so this player, he was I guess a little bit of a troublemaker, but he walked around the clubhouse singing a song. Said, I don't play, but I get paid. And he kept singing it over and over again. I was like, wow. Is he mad? I'll tell you who it was in the break. and you'll probably go, yep. Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't play, but I get paid.
And back then, not a lot.
Guillen's going to be okay as he heads back to first base.
I think Jose wears contacts. I think he got something in his eye. Maybe as he slid back, the ball hit the dirt. Maybe popped some dirt in his eyes. That's better than getting doubled off when you're 8 runs down.
2 outs, and here's Mike Jacobs. In the first inning, Jacobs came to bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he popped out. Never know, man. Giving Trevor Cahill a little confidence and worked his way out of that bases loaded jam. The Royals did not score.
They had De Jesus up last inning with a couple of guys on after 2 quick outs and got him to pop up. And say that's some big outs when you leave 5 runners on base the first 2 and you see your offense score you 8 runs.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 pitch and a good one from Cahill. Jacob strikes out. A couple of strikeouts for Cahill in the 3rd. Ace Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Nissan. Get to the Nissan Tent event for great deals on reliable vehicles. Look closer. Nissan delivers. Luke Hochevar is done for the night. In his first start in 2009, not a good one. Travis Buck. Billy Butler takes care of that one as he flips to the new pitcher, who is Sidney Ponson. But there are the ugly numbers for Hochevar.
48 pitches for him in 2 innings. Unfortunately for him, he is on the wrong end of an 8-run lead by the Athletics, and his opposite number, Trevor Cahill, 48 pitches in the first 2 innings, except he has the lead. He made some good pitches to get out, a couple of jams. As you look at Sidney Ponson, who 6 starts and was moved to the bullpen. Good to see Sir Sidney still at the major league level.
He can hang around, can he? Keeps getting a job, and deserves credit for that. Ponson, now 32 years old, 11th year in the big leagues, and he's going to have to cover first again, and he cannot do it. Flip was a little high from Butler, and Ponson could not make the catch. It's going to be another error.
Plenty of time. That's error on the pitcher, Ponson, who got there and just could not handle the flip from Billy Butler. Well, Ponson still good velocity with his fastball, low 90s. Curveball, slider to change up, so he has not lost much of his velocity.
Remember Sidney Ponson pitched for the Netherlands in the WBC and pitched pretty well, and that may have opened some eyes. Yep. Some teams always looking for pitching. And right after the WBC is when the Royals signed him. Base hit center field. Orlando Cabrera has a base hit, and he's 2 for 3.
Well, what do you think a birthday present for your father would be? How about for Robert Guerin, the father of Bob Guerin, 87 years young today, down in San Diego with Bob's family, watching tonight's game. So Bob wanted to send along a happy birthday to his father, Robert. watching a nice game and probably calls later and said, Dad, you wanted to win? Boy scored 8 runs in the first 2 innings and trying to get some more. So
my gang made it easy.
That's right. So happy birthday to Robert Guerin and all the family, the Guerin family in San Diego watching tonight. Sports, Comcast Sportsnet California, or at least some version. But happy birthday to Robert. So I think
Bob's a junior, and his 2 boys at home.
Yeah.
Bob and Brett.
Yeah. But I think the Skip would like to see his dad have a birthday every day if he can get 8 runs in the first 2 innings.
Whatever it takes.
Absolutely. Huh? At least he will say that.
(2-0) to Kurt Suzuki.
That movie called Groundhog Day.
Hey, if the Groundhog Day is a 7-run second inning. I'm Sohn with a high fastball, and Suzuki swings and misses.
Meanwhile, Orlando Cabrera, who animated in the players meeting this afternoon, and he has come through with a couple of hits.
Back it up.
Absolutely. And that's the way you do it. Last at bat, last inning, drove in 2 with a hanging curveball from Hochaver. A solid hit up the middle. And this at bat.
Want to remind our viewers, coming up next inning, Dallas Braden is going to join us. He'll join us from downstairs. So we're looking forward to talking to Dallas, see how he's feeling after getting hit by the line drive on Sunday. The hand is wrapped.
Probably didn't think it was going to take an hour and 20 minutes to get to him, though. 4th inning, but he'd be very happy.
We're looking forward to talking to Dallas. He's fun to talk to as well. We enjoy it. Well, the A's have the bases loaded.
First baseman, number 16.
Just 1 out. And here's Giambi.
Well, a 1-out walk opened up a 7-run second inning, a 1-out error. And the Royals find the A's with the bases loaded, trying to add to it.
Giambi high to center, but in the ballpark. Crisp racing over toward left center, and he's got it. It's going to be a sacrifice fly for Jason Giambi, and Hanahan scores. So it's now 9-0. So Giambi with a couple of RBIs tonight. It's good to see the big guys starting to rack up the RBIs a little bit.
But in kind of a game where you're not really showing up the opposition. The only way in this type of a game is you start trying to steal a base with a big lead. But nobody ever in baseball said you can't go to the plate and try to hit.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
First and third, 2 outs now. Matt Holliday has an RBI here in the ball game. That was in the second inning, so he's got 21 RBIs in the game. 2-0. Two and one now to Holliday. Matt's first at bat in the first inning. He flied out to center field. Line drive, right field. That's a base hit. Run comes in to score. Suzuki digging for third. It's 10-0. Matt Holliday, line drive to right field.
I saw Jose Guillen playing shallow in right field with Kurt Suzuki. This time playing deep. Respect to the power of Matt Holliday to the opposite field. And well, it looked like he's going to be caught, but into the right center field area. And as a result of Guillen playing deep, he was able to
keep the ball from going from extra bases, but another 2-out hit by Matt Holliday. He's now driven in 22.
I'm telling you, say Matt Holliday is struggling, and he is a little bit, and he still has 22 RBIs. That says a lot about what kind of player he is. Because 22 RBIs is a pretty good number. This is game number 30 for the A's. Do the math.
That's right. And he's doing it so far because he had a 3-run home run, but he's doing it so far by hitting singles and doubles. So just think when the home runs start to come.
Jack Cust, a big hit in this game. 3-run shot in the second. He now has 5 home runs on the year. That is Luke Hochevar, who was knocked around in this game. On the outside corner, a strike.
You're going to call down and ask Jack what he thought of that pitch? I think you could just check out his reaction.
And now 2-2. An error, a couple of singles, a walk, and the A's have scored twice here in the third. 1 in the first, 7 in the second, 2 in the third. Big curve, and Cuss swings and misses. So side retired, a couple of runs for the A's. 4th inning coming up. 10-0 Athletics.
Well, Eric Burns and the Arizona Diamondbacks come to the Coliseum on Saturday, May the 23rd. Game time is 6:05, and stick around after the game for the Memorial Day weekend fireworks show. Order tickets at OaklandAthletics.com or call 877-493-BALL. That's the fireworks against the Diamondbacks, and then fireworks after the game.
4th inning from the Coliseum. 10-0. The Athletics lead. Alberto Callaspo high and fouled on the left field line, and downstairs, as we told you, joined by Dallas Braden. Dallas, how you doing?
I'm all right, Kyle. How's it going?
We're doing fine up here, and
how's your hand?
We're hoping you're doing all right. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. The hand is the hand's still attached. No need for a cadaver. We're good to go.
Well, I'm speaking for my partner as well. What you did the other day, it's the biggest gamer move I think I've ever seen, and I'm not sucking up to you. I mean that. That was pretty awesome. and I hope you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But I mean, more importantly, it was just something that I think we all needed from a team standpoint. The bullpen's been kind of wearing it a little, and that's due in part to the starters really not getting it done as much as we could or should. And you know what? It was pretty much numb at that point, so you couldn't feel it anyway. And I figured the hard part was over by getting smacked with it, and that was the least I could do.
And Dallas, we'll watch this fly ball to Travis Buck, but we had a shot, of course, you getting hit, and the timing was 1/3 of a second.
Yeah, it
was back at you.
It was traveling at an extremely high rate of speed, from what I understand. I didn't even react really. It just it went up and hit my hand, which happened to be in the way. It was in between. The ball hit my hand, and if it wouldn't hit my hand, it probably would have hit my throat. But it did glance off and hit me in the side of the neck, and that's what caused me to drop down. I couldn't breathe. I was kind of freaking out.
So Dallas, it hit you on the top of the hand. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it hit me on the top of the hand. You can still see some
Bud Selig. Is Bud on there?
Still some laces. Yeah, Alan H. Selig, I think, is a little lower, but it hit me square there and glanced off, and then I took a shot into the side of the neck, and that's what I think everybody kind of thought it hit me in the shoulder initially, but that's what happened.
Now, Dallas, you were saying tonight, and your follow-through, it wasn't a matter, you said, of your hand coming up to try to protect. It's kind of the way you follow through. Is that basically the follow-through?
Yeah, I had just what I did is I just recoiled a little, and my hand happened to be up, and I was falling off to the side, which isn't technically sound, but that happened. And it just happened to hit me. I mean, it hit me flush, and I mean, I thank God now, looking at the replay, that it did hit me there, because otherwise that's a busted Adam's apple waiting to happen.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Luckily, made it out alive. Good to go.
What did you have to do to stay in the ballgame? Talking-wise.
Really, it was a big sell job. The first thing on their mind, they tell me, hey, we're going to have to get some pictures of this. We're going to get some x-rays taken. And I said, perfect, no problem. I've got nothing to do after the game. And they said, no, now. And I said, no, not now, because if I go into that tunnel and I go up to the clubhouse, I know I'm not coming back down, and that's not going to happen.
But Dallas, we saw you doing the negotiating, and we need verification. It looked like you said at one point, don't tell Bob, meaning the manager, Bob Guerin. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. I didn't want him to know anything, just because, what, a manager's got a lot going on, and my hand is really nothing that he needs to be worried about at that point in my mind.
Why did you grab Walt Horn like that? What was he going to do?
Well, Walt might have went and told on me. He might have been telling falsies, and I can't have that floating around the dugout, not at that time.
Well, Dallas, stick around, and we'll talk some more with you the next half inning.
Absolutely.
Good inning for Trevor Cahill. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the fourth coming up 10-0 Athletics. Nothing. Bottom of the fourth inning at the Coliseum. Ray Fossey, Glenn Kuiper, A's baseball here in Comcast Sportsnet, California. And we're having some fun with Dallas Braden, who has a headset on downstairs, and continue our conversation with Dallas, who says he's feeling okay after getting hit in the hand. And Dallas, when will you know for sure, or do you know for sure, if you will make your next start?
Right now.
Or should we not say anything? I'm going to call you Dallas. Don't tell Bob Guerin. That's going to be your nickname from now on. But what have they told you?
I feel good right now. It's just a matter of getting all the mobility back. It's kind of black and blue. They've been massaging it, rubbing it out, doing the whole ice and stem thing. And tomorrow is really going to tell the story, just about how much more flexible I am in the morning as opposed to later in the evening. But I should feel fine. With the extra day, that kind of gives Bob some leeway to figure some things out as far as pushing a day back. But I think we're going to go with when I'm ready to go, when I'm 100% healthy.
So you're saying the Bay. So Brett Anderson could go Friday, or you could go Friday, no return, or you wait till Saturday, and that would be the extra day.
Yeah, that would be the extra day. But I'd like to get back out there as soon as possible. I'm a big feel guy. Sure. I'm on 5 days. I like to keep it that way. But if the hand doesn't allow that, then so be it.
Yeah, Dallas, we saw you pitch on Sunday, and considering what happened, but I thought one of just as impressive starts was a Thursday afternoon in Texas that after 4 innings, I think everybody thought you were finished, yet you went out and pitched the 5th. You ended up getting the win and had a tremendous 5th inning. When we were talking about pitch counts, and I think you brought up a very interesting point, that you said pitch counts aren't that good for you because it may take you 60, 70 pitches before you start to feel well. Kind of explain that, and then kind of how you are able to get through because of the pitch count and pitch the way you did, especially that Thursday.
Well, some guys, it takes a little bit longer for them to get going during the game, you could roll through the lineup real quickly the first time out and have no bumps, and then there's times where you look in the 3rd, 4th inning, and like I said, you've got 60, 70 pitches, and all of a sudden you're getting closer to that century mark, and you start to pitch a little differently. You might start to shy away from some contact versus trying to go after guys. I mean, people pitch differently, but when you know that your day is coming to an end and you can visually watch your day dwindle, it puts a little added pressure on you. But there's stories of organizations shutting down the pitch count. And when a guy gets going, it might be 70 or 80 pitches into the game, but you never know what he can do after 120 pitches. He might still be ready to go, or up to 120 pitches. And that could get you 6, 7 innings out of a guy. And, you just never know. Pitch count's just a touchy-feel subject.
Payoff pitch to Adam Kennedy, and he swings and misses. And that's the first out. Ryan Sweeney is at first. Sweeney was given a base hit on that ball that the first baseman Butler missed.
I think one of the most important things, Dallas, about you when you take the mound at the Coliseum, there's a special song that comes on, and it deals with your hometown, Stockton, California, area code 209. How did that originate, and what does it feel like to take the mound and that song comes on for you?
Well, it actually came about. A friend and I were headed into the grocery store, and there were some guys outside of the grocery store selling CDs. Hey, $5, we're just trying to get our music out there, and so we obliged, threw it in the CD player on the way out, and the first song is Welcome to Stockton, and we just lost it in the car. It was awesome. And I stumbled upon it a few years ago. I made the debut here in Oakland, and I played that song, and I think I could hear probably all of 150 people that were here for me just losing their minds. And to come out to that song, have your hometown be an hour away or so, and have these people travel up and make it, and you get to come out to those sounds. Nothing better to get a guy going, that's for sure.
So Dallas, with a day off yesterday and a day game on Sunday, do you head back to Stockton for a couple days?
Absolutely. Well, I bought a home there. I try to keep it real, keep the roots as close as possible, and I travel back and forth daily. I've got I've got my family out there, and that's where I like to stay close to home as much as possible.
And you can fight the Altamont. More power to you, my friend.
You are a gamer if you fight that traffic every day.
I am absolutely a gamer, and it's not the traffic. It gives me time to decompress.
That's right. No, I agree.
Get away from the game a little bit and get home and just relax. So it's a nice breath.
And I'm sure you make sure you leave early enough, and you don't have to worry about it if you are caught in a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. I get out of there in the nick of time. I'm beating everybody.
Travis Buck on the 3-2 pitch fouls it back.
But there's no doubt, and I think this song, but how special is it to be able to play as you mentioned, an hour away, and to be able to do the things that you've done in the offseason in the community, the city of Stockton that we've talked about before, but just to be able to know that your family, everybody's so close, and they can come and watch you as often as you pitch.
Well, it's big. It's a big deal to me just because, you know, more so for the community. There's a lot of things that I've always said I'd like to do for the community and the people that have helped me, and being close here has kind of allowed that. You know, there's stories of guys who, you know, the big name guys, big money guys who are able to pour millions and millions of dollars into these foundations, and that's great for what they do. I'm obviously not at that point. But I like to give as much as I can. Being close to home allows me to do that, and I kind of get to see the fruits of the labor firsthand versus maybe just reading a newsletter or something. I get to look at the faces of the people that I've helped, and that's big, being home. Not to mention all the hooligan friends I have get to come out here and enjoy a ball game, and they can all ride together. They don't have to worry about anything else.
And we're just showing section 209 here at the Coliseum.
Beautiful. We need to make them the fans of the game,
That's
don't we?
Right.
Strike 2 to Jack Hanahan. 0-2.
Well, of course, Trevor Cahill, his last start, 9 runs. This start, 10 so far. And you've had 3 shutouts, which you've hit on the mound. A little bit of envy when it comes to seeing opposing pitcher. I know you're a team guy, but run support's got to be special.
I chalk it up to beginner's luck, Foss. That's what he's got going for him. No, you know what? Anytime you see the guys start lighting up the scoreboard like this, you're happy, no matter who's out there, because you know your turn's going to come. You know, it's just a testament of pitching well and trying to be consistent and knowing that eventually that run support's going to come. And, you know, Trevor's a perfect example. And he's getting that kind of support. He's going to go out there and continue to do well tonight, win us a ball game, and we're going to roll with it.
1-2 to Jack Hanahan. Towards center field, where Coco Crisp goes back, now in, and he's got it for the second out.
Dallas, before we do let you go, and I know that one of the great Hall of Fame pitchers pitched for the Oakland Athletics, Raleigh Fingers with a handlebar mustache, and
I know that name.
Yeah, what? Let's see. A little close up there. There's Hall of number 34. Let's go back to Dallas Braden. Doesn't have the true mustache, but there it is.
Close enough, Raleigh.
That's
sorry.
Classic. No, this is what players do in their free time. Yeah, it's just, you know.
That's what spring training gets you.
Dallas, remember one thing.
What's that?
Don't tell Bob. That's right. Hey, Dallas, thanks for joining us. Good luck when you make your next start. Looks like it'll be this weekend in Detroit. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Thanks for having me, fellas.
All right.
We'll see you.
Nice haircut, by the way. That's good.
We love Dallas Braden.
Well,
he's funny.
He's had a haircut, and kind of looked like Oscar Gamble when he played that curly hair. And, you know, you put his cap on, it kind of Harpo, you know. But, but he got it tightened up, and
it's working.
It's working great. I think Rajay Davis might have gotten to him, but yeah, he's got the good look, and boy, he is definitely a gamer when it comes to taking them out. And anybody, first of all, to pitch the way he did in Texas that Thursday afternoon and on fumes, as they say, in the 5th inning, and then to stay in the game and pitch 6 innings after getting drilled. And the hand, his pitching hand, in addition to the chest or the throat, and thank God it wasn't right at his throat. Dallas saying, I got to show my handlebar mustache. Yeah. And of course, the starting pitchers are always sitting together.
Three and one now to Cabrera. Sweeney led off the inning with a single, and then Kennedy a strikeout, Buck a walk, and Hanahan a fly ball to center field. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Drive, right center, and that's going to get down. It's going to score 1. It's going to score 2, and Orlando Cabrera having a huge game. 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and we're only in the 4th inning for Cabrera. 12-0 Athletics.
Team meeting 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Make it 4 o'clock right on the field right before stretching, and Orlando Cabrera will be leading the charge. This ball slicing away from Coco Crisp, an inside-out swing. And Orlando Cabrera, watch this ball just start to right there. Just keep slicing and slicing. No way Crisp with his feet could get to it. Great evening so far by the A's shortstop.
So Cabrera, 4th double of the year. He now has 10 RBIs. Kurt Suzuki's been on base all 3 times. A single, reached on a fielder's choice, and a walk. It looks like everybody has a hit except Adam Kennedy, and he started the 7-run inning with a walk. 12 runs and 11 hits so far for the A's. That may be the best note of all. 6 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Coming into tonight, the A's with a .226 average as a team with runners in scoring position. That's going to go up, and that's a good thing. Aviles reaches down, picks it up, throws side retired. 2 more runs for the A's. We head to the 5th. It's 12-0 Oakland.
Royals, number 2, Coco Crisp.
Athletics 12, Royals nothing. Top of the 5th inning. Let's check out our leaderboard. It's brought to you by Firestone, and it has to do with the man you just saw, Zach Greinke. Unbelievable start to this season. He's 6-1 with a 0.51 ERA. He has not a lot of home run, 59 strikeouts, and just 8 walks. So his only loss was, I think, Saturday night, 1-0 to the Angels. He has been absolutely terrific.
What a game it must have been to watch Joe Saunders, a shutout against the Kansas City Royals. Complete games for Greinke, 8 innings, of course, visiting team in a losing effort, 1-0, and Joe Saunders. I bet that game probably lasted about 2 hours.
Probably a lot of strikes. Well, the Royals did a good thing in this past offseason. They signed Greinke to a 4-year, $38 million contract extension. So you're going to get Zach Greinke for the next 4 years at an average of less than $10 million a year. I know that's a lot of money, but that's a pretty good bargain in today's baseball world.
Not a bad stopper for Trey Hillman, the manager.
Right field, that ball's hit pretty well. Buck near the wall, and he cannot get it off the top of the wall and out.
Well, if he could have gotten back to the wall, considering it did hit the top, probably would have been able to catch the ball. But It's not that easy to try to get back and find the location of the ball and then be able to jump and catch it.
So Coco Crisp, 3 hits tonight, and that one his 3rd home run of the year.
Well, 2-0 fastball. Here it is. Hit it. Inside corner. You can see the reaction of Trevor Cahill. It's high enough. Travis going back. There's where he got a little turn run. It's back to his right. He just could not get there quickly enough to make the catch.
Well, the Royals are on the board. And here's David DeJesus. That's the 5th home run that Cahill has allowed so far this year. One now to David DeJesus.
Where this ball hits 367 right on top there, and talk about some great spin instead of the ball coming back. But definitely a catchable ball had Travis gotten to the wall and been able to jump up.
Kennedy, and not quite in time. But a good effort by Adam Kennedy. David DeJesus has a base hit. That's 6 hits now for the Royals.
Number 24, Mark Tian.
Angels leading the Red Sox 2-1. That game in the 6th inning. Keeping an eye on that.
That as well as Kennedy could make, or any second baseman make this play. DeJesus runs too well. Just hoping for a much slower hitter when a ball like that is hit.
Tehan goes after the first pitch. Matt Holliday settles underneath it, and he has it. So that's the first out here in the 5th inning.
Number 11, Jose Guillen.
So Tehan heads back to the dugout. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to Jose Guillen is in for a strike. See that good sinker by Cahill. Guillen missed some time early in this season, was put on the disabled list. Some problems with the right hip flexor tendon, which you hear a lot about. But he seems to be okay, back in the lineup. Well, there was a time early in this game, Ray, where we were concerned whether Trevor Cahill was going to be able to get to the 5th inning due to his pitches. I mean, he threw a bunch in the 1st inning.
And 97 in his last start. And I would think that Bob Guerin would like to see him go out at least one more. The bullpen rested with the off day yesterday. And thankfully, Dallas Braden was able to pitch 6 innings Sunday after taking the ball off his hand in the 1st inning. That could have been devastating to the A's bullpen. You have to bring somebody in, although Dan Geis was well rested and was ready to come in if necessary.
Cahill has it, spins around to second for 1, and that's a double play. Well, that'll keep you in the game an extra inning. A 1-6-3 double play, bottom of the 5th coming up. Giambi's going to lead it off, sitting on 399 home runs. We'll go deep with Sportsnet Central tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Recaps from both the A's game here at the Coliseum, the Giants across the bay. New Warriors GM Larry Riley. The announcement made today. Chris Mullin is out. How about that? And, of course, the NBA and NHL playoff action. Sportsnet Central tonight on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
Well, it's not a bit of shock for Chris Mullin. It was a shock to me, not following that much, but see things the way they developed. But it's too bad.
It sure seemed like he's been on his way out for a while. Too bad. Good guy. Saw Chris Mullin at the coffee shop just a couple days ago. Drive to left. David DeJesus goes back. He's got it, so Giambi is retired. So Jason, a double, a sacrifice fly, a couple of RBIs tonight, but he flies out there. Unit pitcher Horacio Ramirez.
Appearance for the left-hander. Pretty good fastball. Of course, like a left-hander usually has some tailing action, but his pretty straight. You just saw.
Hey Ray, there was a time when this young man, Ramirez, was thought to be maybe on the brink of being one of the better lefties in the National League when he was with the Braves, but he just has not been able to put it all together. In 2003, he came up with the Braves and went 12-4, made 29 starts. He just was never able to put it back together. Went to Seattle, pitched a year there, and now he's 29 years old and really pitching long relief for the Royals. Matt Holliday on the 3-1 pitch. It's inside, so Holliday with a walk.
But after what happened Saturday, nothing is assured of being a ball.
Designated hitter, number 32.
Struck out, called out a couple of times. Manager Bob Guerin. Glad it wasn't Robert Guerin's birthday Saturday. Let's see his son ejected. Happy birthday, Dad. I just got ejected.
Sorry.
But, no, tonight and today, of course, special day and 12 runs for the A's skipper on his dad's birthday. So far, just the fifth inning. How great is it? The A's will be going to San Diego this year.
That's right.
There'll be a lot of Southern California guys happy to go to Los Angeles and San Diego. Interleague play, 6 games, 3 each in those cities.
That'll be a fun road trip. I know you and I agree on it, Ray. If interleague play is here to stay, okay. But it'd be nice to keep it in the National League West when the A's play the National League.
That was a 3-run home run, Jack Cust. So in the 2 starts made, the last 2 starts made by Trevor Cahill, Jack Cust did a slam and a 3-run home run.
Thank you very much. Outside corner, and it's 2-1. That's a base hit to left center field. So Cust beats the shift there, and he has his second hit. Jack's 2 for 4.
Center fielder.
He's got to be just as happy with that base hit as he, well, close, 3-run home run, but be able to hit a ball on the ground to the left side. The way the shift is put on, they expect him to hit the ball to the right side, fly balls to left field. So the shift is for the infield ground ball, but he went against it, just like Giambi did in Seattle. G driving in a run to help the A's win a game.
Two on, 1 out for Sweeney. .12 hits now for the A's to go along with their 12 runs. they've also received 5 walks from Royals pitchers,
3 of which have scored, and an error has scored. That started the A's 2-run third inning.
Bounce toward first. Butler spins around and gets the out at second. So first and third, 2 outs.
Now batting, second baseman, number 29, Adam.
And Adam Kennedy. Chance to knock it around.
See why Billy Butler wants to play first base. That's a very good play. A lot of guys who just go to the bag at first and get the sure out, but we got one of the lead runners. Got a strong throw, no chance for a double play, but very impressive to see him make that play.
Kennedy takes just off the plate outside. Kennedy a walk, a run scored, a flyout, and a strikeout in the ball game.
Kurt Young, the A's pitching coach, has his club 30 in the American League with a sub-4 ERA. We'll take a look. There are 6 clubs in all of baseball with a sub-4 ERA.
I think you're right.
Very impressive.
The Royals, before tonight at least, the best ERA in the majors. But it's going to take a beating tonight. Holiday down at third. And Sweeney the runner at first, and foul ball makes it 2-2. Now the Royals have certainly straightened out their pitching, at least in the early going. It was an issue for them last year, and it's been an issue for them, but they've been very good. Giving up the fewest home runs in the American League, have the second most strikeouts as a pitching staff.
There's Bob McClure, the pitching coach that you were seeing on the screen behind the stats.
Well, you saw Greinke and Gil Mesh, solid starter. Brian Bannister, who's also called up for the minor leagues, he's off to a terrific start. So Bob McClure's got some good young pitchers to work with. Tonight, it's the A's offense that has been the story, and that is great to see.
Well, one of the things that Bob McClure, talk about Zach Greinke, spring training. Greinke with a mid to upper 90s fastball, curveball that can drop down to 70 miles an hour. But he worked exclusively on a changeup, and people were saying, "What are you doing?" He's getting hammered with the pitch, but he knew how important it was to have the changeup, and that's why now he's such an even better pitcher than he has been, because he's added the changeup to his arsenal.
That one's hit well. Center field, crisp. He's got room in front of the Comcast Sportsnet California sign. Side retired. For the first time, the A's do not score in an inning. 12-1 Athletics. 12-1, the A's lead in the top of the 6th inning over the Royals. Billy Butler will lead things off. Butler, Jacobs, and Callaspo. He's Trevor Cahill, who more than likely this will be his last inning. This will be pitch number 90.
Well, he's just starting to pitch better, and like Dallas Braden said, maybe it took him 70 pitches to get to this point. But that call says it all.
Very high to right center. Travis Buck has it. So Buck's been busy tonight. Well, let's check out our Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Glenn and Ray. The question comes from Dave in Santa Cruz. Who has the major league record for the lowest single season ERA? All right. Zach Greinke. This year so far, 0.51. Quite a bit of season left. Well, I think it's Bob Gibson, isn't it? At least
1.32.
Something like that.
Then they decided they're going to make it an offensive game. That was 1968.
So they raised the mound, which obviously helps the pitcher a great deal. Buck again. See if he's got enough room, and he does not. That ball's gone. Mike Jacobs, his 6th home run of the year. So a couple of home runs for the Royals to account for their 2 runs.
Well, as the late Catfish Hunter would say, I'll give up home runs, but they will be solos. And Coco Chris, this ball elevated just a little bit. Bell tie. Sounded like it was going to be a home run. Jacobs left home plate like he knew it was going to be. Travis Buck just gave it a courtesy run.
Here's Alberto Callaspo, the second baseman, who's having a fine season. Quiet night so far for him, though. He has flied out twice to right field. Van Geis loosening up quickly. Callaspo's average now at .333. He came in with the 9th best average in the American League, and Cahill's going to get him for the 3rd time. So best single season ERA.
1.12. That's what it was for Gibson.
Now that's since 1950, and that was the year '68 where they raised them out. And Johan Santana this year, we have not talked about him. Look at his ERA, 0.78.
I like Dutch Leonard. And how about the Troy Trojans here back? That was a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember them?
He was a hard thrower, too, that Tim Keefe. Threw really hard. Side retired. Mike Jacobs with a home run. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 12-2 Athletics. $6 burgers made with 100% black Angus beef. New center fielder for the Kansas City Royals, Mitch Meyer, takes over. Coco Crisp will get the rest of the night off. So Meyer in center. Kyle Farnsworth is the new pitcher. Farnsworth signed another big contract, this one with the Royals, and he has struggled. ERA 6.10 after 11 appearances. Farnsworth got a 2-year, $9.25 million contract to come to Kansas City. Faces Travis Buck, Jack Hanahan, and Orlando Cabrera here for the A's in the bottom of the 6th. Travis Buck, a single, a ground out, and a walk. He scored twice. Way inside. Farnsworth, a very hard thrower. No secret there. One and two now. Farnsworth has been with the Cubs, Detroit, Atlanta. The last 3 years with the Yankees. Last 2.5 years with the Yankees.
Always had a very good arm, very strong arm. That's why he's been always desirable for clubs to sign him coming out of the bullpen. He was with the Tigers before he traded to Atlanta. There was a fight, and he was right in the middle of it, and he's very strong.
Yes, he is.
Very strong. And he showed it. He showed it in that fight.
He's a big boy.
Will not back down from anybody.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Travis Buck is retired for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Third baseman, number 22.
Perfectly thrown fastball to the outside corner. And there's your camera just over the black, and there's the strike call. Not the white chalk designated the batter's box, which is always important, not to widen the strike zone that much.
And toward left field, hit pretty well, but DeJesus in front of the wall has it.
Time now for Carl's Jr. in your face, and you know, they say you're going to walk the walk, talk the talk. Well, if you have a team meeting, get everybody together, and so you come out and drive in a couple of runs with a single, a hanging curveball, and then about a 2-run double to right center. That's the third hit for Orlando Cabrera tonight. He is driven in 4. And always plays a flawless shortstop.
And with the 3 hits, the average up to 240, so it's climbing. He came in at 223. And he was coming off a 2-for-12 series against the Blue Jays. There's that good fastball from Farnsworth.
Unless Dan Geis was loose in the short amount of time he warmed up the bullpen, looks like Trevor Cahill is going to pitch the 7th. No activity in the A's pen, although some guys, if they're loose, will sit down and then come straight in. I don't think Geis was up that long.
He was not. I didn't.
Trevor's still in the dugout.
15 pitches.
11 pitches for Cahill in the 6th. I like it. I think it goes back up.
Mark Tian, the third baseman, and he's got it. Side retired Kyle Farnsworth, a 3-up, 3-down inning.
Geis is ready.
Dan Geis is coming in. Question answered. 12-2 A's.
Sunday, June 7th for a 1:05 first pitch. First 10,000 fans that day will get an A's 12-pack cooler brought to you by Altabate Summit Medical Center. Tickets are on sale now. Call 877-493-BALL. 12-pack cooler. All right. Half a case. Let's go.
Mike Aviles leading things off against Dan Geis. Trevor Cahill, 6 innings. He's in line for a win, a second consecutive win. Travis Buck has it, so Aviles is 1 for 3. There's one out here in the top of the 7th.
One start for Dan Geis, and it was a good one. A spot start. 0-3 pitched in long relief and extra inning games, a couple of those, but he's been a kind of a savior for the A's in the bullpen. Like to get somebody to come out of the pen, give you some innings, and he's been able to do that. And effective innings on top of it.
So Cahill, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Both those walks came in the first inning. Toward right center, and it's going to be up the alley. And Mitch Meyer, his first at bat, is a double. So Meyer comes in the game for Coco Crisp, and he picks up the 8th hit for the Royals.
Number 9.
So the leadoff spot for the Royals has 4 hits.
Well, Travis Buck ran out the ball. It was like he lost it. Instead of taking an angle back towards the ball, went straight at it. These lights are very tough to go after certain balls in the gaps.
Here's David DeJesus. Angels 2, Red Sox 1. Bottom of the 7th in Anaheim. The 2 teams in the AL West, Seattle and Texas, opened up the series down in Texas, and the Rangers won 7-1. It was a 1-1 game going to the 7th inning, and the Rangers exploded. The guy who gave them a 3-1 lead with a 2-run homer, Josh Hamilton. What a at bat. Came off the disabled list today, did Hamilton, and the home run for him, his 3rd of the year. So Texas gets the win, and they will hold on to first place. Rangers now 18-14. Two and 2 to David DeJesus. We mentioned the Blue Jays beating the Yankees 5-1 behind the complete game by Roy Halladay, his first complete game of the year. Check swing. Did he go? No. Mike Malinsky, the third base umpire. Jim Thome hit a pair of home runs tonight in the White Sox 7-4 win over the Indians. So Jim Thome now 547 career home runs. Good pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 call. 2 outs.
Jim Thome, who has been struggling as far as the average is concerned.
Number 24.
Dan Geis, perfect pitch outside corner, and DeJesus knew it. It was almost a strike. But you know, if it's up to Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, where he hit the home run tonight against his former team, he'll be back next year with a try.
Teammates.
Yeah, he and Manny will be teammates.
Manny's got other things to do with right
yeah,
now.
for at least about another 45 games. Kurt Suzuki was just crossed up by Dan Geis, or at least there was a cross up. Suzuki was able to handle the ball before it hit him or went to the backstop.
Mark Tehan is 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout, fly out for Royals' third baseman. Two teams that the A's will play on their upcoming road trip, Detroit and Tampa Bay. Both those teams lost. Minnesota 6, the Tigers 2. And Baltimore beat Tampa Bay 7-5. Andy Sonnenstein has really struggled this year. He got knocked around big time by the Orioles in that game.
See the attendance at Tampa Bay up 61% about that from last year.
I guess shouldn't be surprised.
That's right. American League Championship, and a team that's never won, never had a winning record.
But you could argue that by saying the economy certainly is affecting most of the other teams. If there's any doubt that the economy is having an effect right here in the Bay Area with both the A's and the Giants.
So they schedule both the A's and Giants at the same time.
That's a base hit for Martian. Mitch Meyer is going to come around and score. So it's 12-3, and Martian has his 14th RBI of the year.
The A's won 20 consecutive games.
Don't bring that up. I can't believe you brought that up.
No,
I thought about it earlier.
No, how great it was. Scott Hatteberg walk off, wins the game, 20 in a row. But how hard it is to get in a winning streak.
I remember sitting at home watching that game. Okay.
That's as far as we'll take it.
Still, it was
hard to believe.
The oddest game, and it ended spectacularly.
11-0 lead. Tim Hudson pitching. I mean, it was scripted.
That's impossible. But then it turned out to be a game
Scott
that you're still talking about.
Comes off the bench and wins 12-11.
Strike to Jose Guillen. Oh boy.
Here it is. Ross Grimsley. Unfurl the number 20. Scott Hatteberg.
That one's driven to left. Holiday's right there. He's got it. Side retired. A run for the Royals. 7th inning stretch. It's 12-3 A's.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the 7th inning stretch.
All A's offense. First inning, Jason Giambi an RBI double, and then in the second, the A's busted this baby open early. 7 runs in the second inning, 3 of them coming on Jack Tuss' 5th home run of the year. Orlando Cabrera has had a huge night. He is 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. All A's. 3-9-2 for Kansas City. 12-12-0 for the Athletics, and it is a season high 12 runs for the A's. So bottom of the 7th inning, A's come to bat again. Kurt Suzuki will lead it off. Suzuki Giambi and Holiday. That is Luis Hernandez, who takes over at third base, so Mark Tehan is out. And a new pitcher, it's the left-hander, Ron Mayhew. So a little work for Mayhew. This is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Royals. Bochaver, Ponson, Ramirez, Farnsworth, and now Mayhew. Quickly 0-2 to Kurt Suzuki.
Ron Mayhew, of course, as we have talked about many times, it's many years with the Texas Rangers, with the A's for a little while. But not bad for an outfielder. He converted to the mound. Did a very good job.
That's Kevin Cameron. Cameron could get some work in this game. It'll be the same time tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet California. Over to the first baseman, and it drops in for a hit, and Kurt Suzuki is going to take it. It's a double for Suzuki. He's 2 for 4.
Well, it's a line drive. That'll take it.
First baseman, number 16.
Makes up for the ball hit hard in the 4th inning. Made it out. It's a cue shot. Plays perfectly right field line, and you're running down baseline. It's a hit. Just keep running. 12th double already for Kurt Suzuki in game number 30.
A couple of home runs. Slider in for strike to Jason Giambi. A couple of RBIs tonight for Giambi. He now has 15 on the year. RBI double and a sacrifice fly. Up and in, 1-1. For the pitching matchup tomorrow, Josh Outman and Brian Bannister. Bannister, the right-hander, 3-0 with a 1.48 ERA. Josh Outman still looking for his first win. Again, A's pregame live at 6:30, and then the ball game at 7 o'clock. And then an off day Thursday, the A's will head to Detroit. Start their road trip. 3 in Detroit, 4 Tampa Bay. High to right field. Playable for Jose Guillen, and he's got it. Suzuki tags up, trying for third, and he's going to beat the throw. Jose Guillen will show off his arm, and it's a good one. But Kurt Suzuki tagging up. So runner at third with 1 out.
Well, just missed a couple tonight. This one for the left-hander. Remember, 3 home runs have come against lefties this year. And Kurt Suzuki with 1 out. Tagging up and getting to third base. Infield will play back.
Matt Holliday's had a good game. A couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. He's also walked. He's ahead in the count 2-0, and he's got a chance to knock in another run with Suzuki at third and 1 out. Jack Cust waits in the on-deck circle. And not even close. So a walk to Holiday. He's been on base 4 times tonight. And that is the 6th walk issued by Royals pitcher.
Designated hitter, number 32, Jack Cust.
So Jack Cust will hit.
Before going out to talk to Ron Mahan, it's just a matter of maybe something he noticed in his delivery for the last 4 pitches, all out of the strike zone to Matt Holliday, and it's a mechanical thing maybe, and just trying to correct it. Otherwise, the way Trey Hillman and Bob McClure running the pitching staff out after Hochevar went just 2 innings, trying to get an inning of work for several of the guys in the bullpen.
Robinson Tejeda, the right-hander, loosening up for the Royals.
Didn't help the Royals that Soria, their closer, went on the disabled list. He had been bothered by injuries.
And he's pretty good, too.
Very good. Juan Cruz, very hard-throwing right-hander, is one of the candidates, former member of the Athletics.
Little dribbler out in front of the plate, foul. So 0-1 to Cust. A couple of runners on for Jack. Down around the knees, good pitch from Mayhay. 0-2. Thus, the 3-run homer, a single. He has also struck out twice, 2 for 4. Did he go? No.
Started his swing, held his breath, and got his call. That's a swing.
That's strike 3, and that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, make sure you visit the A's page on CSNCalifornia.com to vote in tonight's poll that was featured during A's pregame live. How many games do you expect the A's to win versus the Royals in this series? 1, 2, or 0? Well, we narrowed it down for you a little bit with the score being 12-3. Look for the answers in tonight's postgame. For exclusive video, exclusive blogs, and much more, log on to CSNCalifornia.com. Check it out. Looks like Rajay Davis is going to get an at-bat. Davis hitting for Ryan Sweeney. Sometimes the manager looks for a chance to get a bench player in an at-bat, or maybe he's thinking start Rajay Davis against the left-hander, if there is a left-hander coming up at some point in the next handful of days.
Please hope that's not the case. The record is not impressive against left-handers so far this season.
Check swing, foul. Suzuki still at 30, led off the inning with a double. And there's strike 3 called to Rajay Davis. So back-to-back strikeouts for Ron Mayhay, and the side is retired. 8th inning coming up, 12-3.
Bobby Crosby now playing first base, and batting in the third position. And pitching for the Athletics, number 52, Kevin Cameron.
And the A's Major League Baseball and People Magazine are looking for A's fans who have made a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2009 All-Star Game in St. Louis. And one will be featured in People Magazine. To nominate, go to People All-Stars, peopleallstars.com.
Eighth inning here at the Coliseum. Billy Butler to lead it off. Kevin Cameron comes on. Takes over for Dan Geis. Geis pitched the 1 inning, gave up the 1 run. So Cameron here in the 8th, and he jumps ahead of Billy Butler. 0-2. Bobby Crosby comes into the game to play first base, so Jason Giambi is done for the night. And Rajay Davis, who pinch hit for Sweeney, stays in the game at center field. And the A's with an extra man down in their bullpen. So they have just 3 extra position players. Butler is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's lined to short. Fly to right.
Landon Powell's already shown his versatility. He is the lone position player remaining. In the event something should happen, hope that's not the case. 5th appearance for Cameron. Showing no effects of a bad elbow in the past, so that's good to see him throwing well.
Another fly ball to Travis Buck, and that's 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Well, the A's 11 wins started this season.
Number 17,
and if you look at
Mike Jacobs.
the irregularity as far as the playing off days, the rainouts, and different things that can happen. So the Milwaukee Brewers just finished a stretch of 20 games in 20 days. What the record was? 14-6.
You've said that many times.
Yeah, and you just need to play consistently.
Especially early in the season.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
Play every day because guys are coming out of spring training playing well. And you can't fight Mother Nature with the rainouts and different things, but I thought it was interesting that
Number 13,
they put together a nice streak, and other clubs have had similar successes. But it's a game that needs to be played every day for guys to get in that nice groove, nice rhythm, and let's hope that's the case for the A's, although they will have an off day Thursday. But second half, one stretch of 28 consecutive games, 28 days.
Well, they're going to get busy, though, after this off day on Thursday. They'll play 13 straight, a day off, and then 17 straight.
Perfect.
So there you go. This is Alberto Callaspo, who's 0 for 3. But yeah, you had 3 games postponed. Swing and a miss by Callaspo, and a very nice, tidy 3-up, 3-down inning for Kevin Cameron. Bottom of the 8th, coming up 12-3 A's. Well, it's been a real good night offensively for the A's, as you can see by those highlights. 12-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. 13 hits for the Athletics. The only home run in the game was that big home run by Jack Cust, a 3-run shot. Well, no such thing as an easy game in the big leagues, but I'm sure the manager, Bob Guerin, can relax a little bit anyways with the big league.
That's what early scoring will do, and Trevor Cahill's settling down, pitching effectively. It's Tejeda, 9th appearance, 169 earned run average, so very strong out of the Royals bullpen. We've seen him with the Texas Rangers.
He was with the Rangers last year for a while, but then he was placed on waivers by Texas, and the Royals claimed him, and that was in June. After being in the big leagues with the Phillies, Robinson Tejeda. Adam Kennedy trying to join the hit parade. He is 0 for 3, but he has walked and scored a run. Grounded, backhand, Butler squirts out of his glove, and then he throws a sinker to Tejeda, who made a heck of a play, and Kennedy's retired.
Wow. Well, that's such a tough throw for first baseman. Butler, of course, bobbled the ball, but too far off the bag to flip the ball underhand and kick the ball a couple of times, and then go down and get it, big boy. What a great play by Tejeda. Hit a snow cone as his first baseman forced him to be in pretty good shape to go down and get the ball. Butler's made some good plays at first tonight, so it's showing that he is more than a DH.
Travis Buck, a base hit and a walk tonight. And now 2-0 to Buck. And down in Anaheim, the Red Sox have come back to tie up the game at 3 in the top of the 8th inning. Just had a 3-1 lead in that game. The Red Sox still batting.
The Giants had a 5-1 lead over Washington. They trailed 7-5 across the bay.
The Nats hit a lot, don't pitch much.
Brian Zimmerman have a hit, PI? He does.
I think you got
30.
Yeah, I think you got to hit in the first inning to get.
They're already saying, well, halfway to Joe DiMaggio. At least past the halfway mark. He's getting up in some rare territory.
You get to 30. Yeah. Everybody's going to keep an eye on you then. Two and 2 to Buck with Jack Hanahan waiting in the on-deck circle. And a fastball from Tejeda. And Buck strikes out for the second time tonight.
Third baseman, number 22, Jack
The Angels
Hanahan.
got out of the top of the 8th, but not before the Red Sox scored 2. So 3-3 headed to the bottom of the 8th in Anaheim.
Has David Ortiz hit a home run yet?
No.
Wow.
That's hard to believe.
I'm sure Terry Francona's saying the same thing. Well, as the rest of the Red Sox nation.
It's going to bother him more than it's going to bother us, I think. Strike to Jack Hanahan. Jack Hanahan, an RBI double back in the second inning. 7 runs in that second inning for the Athletics. Jose Guillen back to his left on the warning track. He's got it. Side retired. We're headed to the 9th. The A's try to wrap it up, and they'll try to get win number 12 on the year. first of this short 2-game series between these two teams. Jerry Blevins, the lefty, comes on, and he'll face John Buck. And the first pitch is fouled straight back by Buck. So Geis with an inning out of the bullpen, Kevin Cameron with an inning, and now Jerry Blevins will try to wrap this baby up. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch from Blevins. Not been a good start for the A's left-hander.
A couple of chances for him. He was up, set to AAA, got back again, so trying to improve the numbers and get some outs.
He's got one as Buck grounds to short, so John Buck is 0 for 4. So even though it's 12-3, anytime Jerry Blevins gets in a game, it's important for him because he has struggled.
Mike Aviles.
Yeah, this is when it becomes a little bit of an individual game. Pitchers want to make it nice and crisp to finish it out. 1 run given up to the Royals by the bullpen tonight, so they continue to be very impressive.
Mike Aviles on the first pitch flies out, and that's 2 outs.
Number 35, Mitch Meyer.
So the final hope for the Royals is Mitch Meyer. Meyer came in the game in the 7th inning for Coco Crisp, and in his lone at bat, he doubled and then scored a run. Off Blevins, he scrambles after it, throws to first, and he throws wide. Crosby did well just to catch it. It came off the bag.
Jerry Blevins would tell you he turned sideways, a little tough to see him because he is tall but thin and has to be wondering, how could this ball hit me? How could it find me? Curveball, got him the left foot. Reacted quickly and then fired a bullet to Bobby Crosby. Probably a good save as he had to reach far to his right. Couldn't keep his foot on the bag. But not surprising that ball like that, you think you have to hurt, and you really don't. But it's hard for the pitcher, in this case Blevins, to realize that.
Hard not to hurry, right? Yeah. Jesus is 1 for 4. Got a single back in the 5th inning. 10 hits for the Kansas City Royals tonight. Swing and a miss. Good slider. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Blevins. DeJesus strikes out, and that's the ball game. So it took 2 hours and 43 minutes, and the A's, well, they hauled out the big lumber tonight as they knocked the ball all around the yard. When it was all said and done, 12 runs and 13 hits, and it's an A's win. So the A's take game 1 of this 2-game series, 12-3 the final. Jack Cust, a big 3-run homer, but it was a 7-run second inning, and that was really the difference. The A's got things going. Trevor Cahill, the youngster, wins his 2nd start in a row. And lots of run support in his last start. 9 runs tonight, 12 runs. So Trevor Cahill is finding out that indeed it all evens out if you're a starting pitcher. If you continue to pitch well, like he has really the